Ladies and gentlemen, CocoSports.com proudly presents the Boom Boom Room. And of course, you should know by now, I am the sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling. That's why Boom Boom here, shaking on live from Richmond, Virginia. Well, the marathon continues, and right now the next show we're going to review is TNA Impact, coming to you live from the Impact Center in beautiful, sunny Orlando, Florida. And of course, I got to, this is a review, so I got to ask the question, what do you give tonight's show? Do you give it a win, a loss, or a tie? So down here in the comment section, let me know, what did you think about tonight's show? Win, loss, or tie? Me personally, I'm gonna give it a weak win. It was a win. There were some things that, while not horrible, I think they could have been better. It would have made. I think it really would have pushed it into solid win territory, or even like a strong win territory. But there was just some little bitty nitpicky things I just couldn't let go of. Overall, it was a good show. Anyone who's a fan of CocoSports.com been following it. I'm not a huge TNA fan. Doesn't mean I think they're a bad company. Doesn't mean I want them to go out of business. It just means it's just not really my cup of tea. But even after watching tonight's show, helping out Dave Coco, I was entertained by tonight's show. I think it was pretty good. This is definitely better than a lot of material that they were doing when they were on Spike TV. I watched the show last week. It was pretty much on par with that. I think this week was actually pretty good. So, again, I'm going to give it a weak win, but tell me what you thought. Just put it down here in the comments section. Get your questions, comments, everything pouring in. Well, let's get down and dirty with it. We've got TNA bell to bell. First thing we have is a handicap elimination match. The three members of the Rising, that is Drew McIntyre, Eli Drake, and Micah, taking on four members of the Beatdown Clan, that is MVP, Low Key, Kenny King, and Hernandez. The match itself, I think they left a lot on the table here. I'll just go ahead and just fast forward to the end, but the Beatdown Clan beats the Rising with two members surviving, Hernandez and MVP. Both King and Low Key were eliminated during the match, and I didn't like it, not because of the outcome. I mean, that has nothing to do with it. I think if you're going to do that, you're going to you're going to beat the baby faces. You're going to, especially in a handicap situation, you got to give the fans some kind of glimmer of hope that, hey, these guys are at a disadvantage, 3 guys to 4, but they've got a lot of heart, and they could go in there and maybe they could pull this off, and the heels, have to take some kind of unfair advantage. It's just that odds, they're just a little too much for the good guys to overcome, and not have the fans feeling robbed. From the way they were setting it up, I thought, okay, the Rising was going to win, because with Low Key leaving TNA, I thought, okay, maybe they're just going to, get rid of the Beatdown Clan and do some different things with the Rising. Maybe it would be a mercy killing for the Beatdown Clan, but no, TNA sticking behind them. And I think the reason why they did this, the disband of the Rising, because I think there's more money to be made with Drew McIntyre as a singles competitor, just from what I've seen. I know he's the Evolve champion, or at least last time I heard he's the Evolve champion. He's had some good matches in TNA. So maybe that's the whole purpose behind it. But let's just take a look at how this unfolded. I don't necessarily mind with Micah. He was eliminated first by Low Key. They singled out Micah first, started working on his knee. Working on his knee, working on him, and he finally got the pin, and he was out. Eli Drake suffered a knee injury going over the top rope. I think he was chasing after Kenny King, and then trainers came out. They said Eli Drake's no longer can't continue, so he's eliminated. So now we're down to 1-on-4. Anyway, not Hernandez, excuse me. Low Key is eliminated by Drew Galloway. He rolled up Low Key for a quick pinfall. This was during an exchange where Kenny King had fallen off the top rope, and Galloway had pinned an unconscious Kenny King. So now it's 2-on-2. And now if you have Drew Galloway come back and beat the Beatdown Clan, get rid of that faction. I mean, yeah, this is fine. This is perfect. I agree with it. It's great. You know, it's kind of like Survivor Series back in November where Dolph Ziggler wound up eliminating 4 members, or is it 3 or 4 members of the Authority, all single-handedly. But they didn't. There was 2-on-1. He took a border toss. He took a I don't know what the name of MVP's finishing maneuver is now in TNA, but he sent Galloway off the top. It was a drive-by kick. Anyway, so MVP pins Galloway, and they just kind of didn't let it sink in that, okay, the whole faction's been dissolved now. The Beatdown Clan's revived here, and Low Key could be out because he took a shoulder breaker on the ring steps. You know, they addressed it backstage that, hey, where's Low Key? Oh, man, he's in the holders. It looks like he separated his shoulder. Oh, okay, we'll go celebrate in the hospital. I mean, they were just rushing through this. I mean, they never let it soak in that, you know, that the Rising lost, was swept. And then, Low Key is, presumably out with an injury. They just like, okay, let's go to the commercial break. Let's go to the next thing. If you're going to have the good guys lose, at least have them look, not look like a bunch of pussies when they get beat. Because, I mean, it was 4-on-3. They have 2 of their guys out, get eliminated almost off the bat. You have Galloway kind of go in there, eliminate a couple of guys, and then he gets hammered with a couple of finishing maneuvers, kicked in the face, and he's out. I think it could have been done better. I'm not necessarily opposed to the move to having the Rising dissolved because, like I said earlier, I think McIntyre would work better as a singles competitor, and I think the Beatdown Clan would probably work a lot better as a heel faction, even though Low Key's leaving. But I just think it could have been done a little bit better. Then let's see, we had an exchange on the microphone. It was Magnus and Mickie James yelling at James Storm. Apparently it led to like maybe a challenge for a mixed tag match. Magnus and Mickie teaming up to take on James Storm and a female partner that he says he can find. I think, yeah, I missed the whole James Storm pushing Mickie James in front of a train. Thank God. And I just think when you do stuff like that, it's ridiculous. Because how do you like, well, you tried to kill me, but I'll solve this via a wrestling match. No. If you jump me backstage, yes, I can solve that. I can solve that conflict via a wrestling match. You try to shove me in front of a moving fucking train and fucking kill me. No, I'm calling the goddamn cops and you're going to jail. That, to me, that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. But Mickie sounded great. Good to see her back. James Storm sounding good. And by the way, yes, I'm well aware that James Storm has asked for his release, and from what I've gathered, it's been granted. And it's actually kind of sad because James Storm is the last TNA original. He was the last guy that was there from show 1. Back when he was with America's Most Wanted. So end of an era for TNA. So good luck to James Storm. Next, we had arguably the match of the night, the Wolves versus the Dirty Heels in a 30-minute Iron Man match for the TNA Tag Team titles. This match came about after the Dirty Heels. Actually, I think it was Rude beat Richards at Slammiversary, then chose an Iron Man match for the 5th and final of the 5-match series. This was a really great match. I mean, it had me on the edge of my seat. I was just into it. Normally with these Iron Man matches, what I can't stand about them is you get all these multiple pinfalls, and it's not necessarily the multiple pinfalls that upset me. It's how a lot of these pinfalls come about. A lot of moves that wouldn't be enough to finish anybody during a regular match is suddenly enough to start pinning people multiple times in an Iron Man match. TNA, they did a good job. They did not make that mistake. They let the match breathe. There was tons of kickouts in this 30-man Iron Man match. I mean, a lot of near falls. I'm really not going to try to give away too much because I really, really, really want you to watch this match. I mean, it's match of the night. The Heels did a good job in their role. The Wolves did a great job in their role. In fact, the first pinfall didn't take place until like 4 minutes left in the match when Austin Aries hit a 450 splash on Davey Richards and got a pinfall. The second pinfall didn't even come until like just over a minute remaining in the match, with Eddie Edwards pinning Austin Aries with a assisted, I guess a lung blower is the best way to put it. The ending, I thought the bad guys were about to steal one here, but no, they got the Wolves got a slight advantage. I think with less than 30 seconds to go, Eddie Edwards pinned Bobby Roode with the schoolboy. Then, and I actually thought, here's what I thought was going to happen here. At the end, you had Bobby Roode had Eddie Edwards in a submission hold, and I thought, okay, he's going to tap, and they're going to tie it up, and they're going to have to go to sudden death, or maybe they have to go to another match. But no, Eddie Edwards gutted out the submission hold. The bell rang, and the Wolves win 2-1, and they take the series 3-2. So congratulations to the Wolves. And yes, I'm also aware about Austin Aries asking for his release and it being granted. Interesting. I don't know where Aries will go. I'm pretty sure. I mean, the guy can make a killing anywhere in the independent circuits. Ring of Honor, I'm pretty sure would be glad to have him back. Japan, yeah, who knows? I don't know if he. Well, do you think Austin Aries would do well in Japan? I don't know. Would his personality really mesh with the crowd out there? I mean, if AJ Styles can make it out there, but then again, Aries has got from what I've read, has got a little bit of an attitude problem. It's a little difficult to work with. Nowhere near as difficult to work with as Loki is, but I don't know. I know definitely. Ring of Honor, we know that'll work. He's the first ever. I think he's the only repeat Ring of Honor heavyweight champion they've ever had. So why not? Why would you not want to bring him back? One problem with this was the fact that you had this win, you have new champions crowned. They went through hell, man. Best of 5 match series. They just went through a 30-minute Iron Man match, and after all that, they're holding up the titles and they just cut to break. I really wish they would have hung around on that one. So. Again, I just wish they would have hung around on it instead. Let it breathe a little bit. You got to let that, it's something I've learned in the news business. You got to let things breathe. You got to let that moment happen. Yeah, it's going to eat away from some of your time, but you're going to have to cut that time somewhere else. If you're having a moment and you need to let the crowd soak it up, let them soak it up. Let that natural sound flow in. And I really think TNA kind of dropped the ball. They were trying to stay on time. They had a schedule to keep. They had, commercials you got to work in, but I think things really needed to breathe there. The next, we had a three-way for the TNA Knockouts title. Sorry, that was immature. You had the Knockouts champion, Taryn Terrell, being accompanied by Marty Bell and Jade, representing the Dollhouse, taking on Awesome Kong and Brooke. Frankly, I mean, this was an okay match. I was just kind of disappointed by it because it was only like a 5-minute match. I mean, you had 3 women. From all practical purposes, can go. I know Awesome Kong can go. Taryn Terrell has really impressed me with how far she's come along. Brooke didn't look like any slouch either. They look great in this. Of course, you had constant interference from the Dollhouse, constantly running distraction on Kong. I like Taryn Terrell's version of that, of the RKO, that cutter she pulled off. And scored the pin on, and just kind of, I thought, okay, this is a move I've seen Awesome Kong kick out of before, but she took the pin with Brooke on the bottom because she got kind of knocked off the top rope by the Dollhouse, and it was just boom, it was just over. And I was like, wait a minute, this can't be the end. I'm thinking maybe something ran longer, or they wanted to make more time for something. But to me, this match just felt abrupt. I mean, it was just like, okay, let's start the knockout match, and it's over. I really felt like they had a lot more to do, a bigger story to tell, and they should have done that, especially when you're only going to have 4 matches on. You need to make every match memorable, and they really cut this one short. So, in other words, should have been longer. It could have been more enjoyable. I'm not necessarily upset that Taryn Terrell retained the Knockouts Championship, but I feel like if you're going to, you need to, tell a little bit bigger of a story. It just ended too abruptly, in my opinion. Next, they went a little backstage segment. They did an exclusive interview with Jeff Jarrett. I was really disappointed by this. Not because, you know, I'm not disappointed by Jeff Jarrett. I'm not disappointed by Global Force Wrestling. I'm just disappointed. Like, they're promoting like this big, you know, exclusive interview behind the scenes with Jeff Jarrett, what he's thinking, and it's roughly, and it wasn't even a minute. I mean, and bear in mind, the same night they aired like that little documentary, that 3-part series on Finn Balor. They just put the third part up, and that thing itself was like, what, 5-6 minutes, or at least it felt long. This was just like 45 seconds. It's just like, you know, and all Jarrett was just saying, well, last week was surreal, uh, and there's a future between Global Force Wrestling and TNA, and it's going to be a shock to some people, and that's it. I mean, like, that was the hype. I mean, you could have just, I mean, I don't know if I would have hyped that up as an exclusive interview. I mean, that was just like something that could have been pre-taped backstage. I mean, it was pre-taped and backstage, but it's just, I wouldn't have built it up as like this exclusive interview, because I'm thinking, okay, they're going to ask multiple questions. And then, because look at even the questions that Michael Cole asked Kevin Owens backstage, you know, with TNA, when he was doing the build up to his feud with John Cena and Sami Zayn. That, I mean, something like that would have been an exclusive sit-down interview. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes. It can be 2-3 minutes, but, you know, make it feel long. But this was only, like, roughly not even a minute. Then we had the main event. We had the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Kurt Angle, versus Ethan Carter III. This was an okay match. They gave it plenty of time. I wanted some, I mean, I guess I was expecting something different. I guess out of this match, and I know I probably shouldn't punish or knock the guys for this match, because I was expecting something the equivalent of like Jay Lethal and Jay Briscoe. That's what I was expecting. And instead, it was kind of like your typical, you know, kind of like a typical TNA match, you know, good guy versus bad guy. They started working each other over. Kurt Angle constantly going for the angle slams and the ankle locks. Ethan Carter III using his power maneuvers, trying to injure Kurt Angle's necks. I mean, there's a great series with the what was it? What was that spot? Oh yeah, the German suplexes. Sorry, I'm blanking right now. Then Tyrus wanted to get thrown out of the match due to interference with the chair, and I think the commentary said the dumbest thing. Oh, he kicked out of the 1%er. And so Tyrus is going to try to get Ethan Carter III disqualified. And I'm like, dude, he's got an undefeated streak. He's okay. He can go a little bit. Why would you want to get him disqualified? He may not get another rematch. If he's champion, if Ethan Carter III is the champion and Kurt Angle kicks out of the 1%er, then yes, I fully agree with, okay, try to get the bodyguard to go in and interfere, hit Kurt Angle with a chair. I mean, Tyrus has already interfered one time already, setting him up for his version of the big ending. And then you have this huge mess where why would you want your guy to get disqualified if he's the challenger? He may not get that shot again. You're going to cost him a match. Eventually, EC3 set up Angle for another 1%er. Angle countered, rolled through, hit an ankle lock. EC3 did an amazing job selling the pain with the ankle lock. He eventually got to the rope and managed to kick out of it. Angle was going for the Angle slam one more time, but EC3 rolled through and did a quick roll up and got the pin and got the win. And your winner and new TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Ethan Carter III. Since debuting in October 2013, he has never been pinned. He has never been submitted. He has never tapped out. So I think Garrett Bateman has come a long way. He's come from a guy who was in WWE developmental hell, never got out of there, never got a push, goes over to the competition. And he's one of the few WWE guys, people can actually remember that he's a WWE guy originally, that actually had his career benefit from going over to TNA. I think it's well deserved. I've got no problem with EC3. I just wish they wouldn't have done it with like a schoolboy roll up. I mean, that's how you got the That's how you essentially got won the tag team championships with the schoolboy roll up. I mean, there's nothing wrong with schoolboys, but just don't do it. So don't go to that well so often, and don't do it. Especially don't do it twice in one show. Especially when titles are on the line. I mean, those were 2 title matches that were won essentially, with the assistance of schoolboys. But overall, I think it was a great show. I think it's another step in the right direction. I just don't know if it's too little, too late. This company is hemorrhaging right now. They're not broke, but they're strapped for cash. I mean, that's why they're recording all these tapings so far in advance, because it's cheaper. A lot of their guys are jumping or just leaving right now in droves. I mean, Low Key is leaving. James Storm's leaving. Taryn Terrell's leaving. Austin Aries is leaving. A lot of these people. I mean, who's going to be left? I mean, even if you do turn around, even if you do convince Destination America to keep you there, who's going to be left, and how are you going to market that? But let me know what you guys think about it. Again, I'm not a huge TNA fan, and even I was entertained by this. If you're kind of like if you're thinking, well, Booms, I don't know, I kind of gave up on TNA a long time ago, and to be honest, I don't blame you. But if you want to go, if you're like, well, should I give it a chance? I would say, yeah, give this show a chance. Go back in there and watch it. The opening match, it's not bad. It would probably help if I knew a little bit more about all the competitors, but that's an okay. The 30-minute Iron Man match for the TNA Tag Team titles is a must-watch. I'm not saying it's a match of the year candidate, but I think it might actually belong in that conversation. It was really good. The Knockouts match is kind of hit or miss. If you check it out, I think it would be worth. It might be worth, but if you skip it, you're not going to be missing much. They do tease the return of Gail Kim at the end of that. All they do is just play like her Titantron, her intro, I guess, video, but that's it. So maybe that's the next big feud they're teasing, is between Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim. The heavyweight championship match is actually pretty good. They did a good build with it. They sold it as a big fight. Even though I wasn't completely happy with the absolute ending for it, it was a good match. It was a decent match. So I'll give it a weak win. There were some minor nitpicky things. I'm not going to give it a loss because of these nitpicky things, but I'll give it a weak win. Win's a win's a win, right? It's like an A- is just the same as an A+. It's still a freaking A. So I'll give it a weak win and tell you to check it out. I'd also like to remind everybody to keep it tuned here to CocoSports.com. That's 3 down and 2 more to go. I'm on a marathon right now. I've reviewed NXT. I've reviewed Lucha Underground. Now I've reviewed TNA. I've still got to do a Ring of Honor review. I've still got to do a SmackDown review. I got a lot of stuff to get knocked out here because I'm helping out Dave Coco, who's out. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I think he's like skydiving or something, or horseback riding up in the mountains. I have no idea what the hell he's doing. Hell, he could have told me he's at work. He's probably like sitting at home naked in a beanbag eating Cheetos for all I know. But anyway, I'm doing the good host thing and helping Phil out. So keep it locked down here to CocoSports.com. That's KOCOSports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, taekwondo, kickboxing, judo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, we got you covered there on the site. Be sure to check out our news and gossip section, updated daily, along with our beautiful and very popular video on demand section. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, because we've got more shows coming to you within the next 24 hours. So buckle your seatbelts. We got a lot to go over, and that's going to do it for me until now. So stay tuned. I'm going to have some more reviews coming your way. And in the meantime, this is Boom Boom, and for my partner Dave Coco, I am over.